Imagine your HOA president forming a rogue tactical squad and breaking into your home, unaware that you've trained the local SWAT team. Yeah, that happened to me, and trust me, what unfolded next will forever change how you view neighborhood watch. Let us know in the comments where you're tuning in from, because this suburban saga went viral, and you're about to see why. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around. This tale gets wilder every second. It all kicked off with a tiny crack, literally. A small fissure appeared in my driveway after last winter's brutal freeze, and it caught the eye of Linda Grayson, the head of our HOA board and self-proclaimed guardian of the neighborhood's pristine look. She didn't just slip a violation notice in my mailbox. Oh no! She showed up at my door in a glaring orange tracksuit and oversized shades, ringing the bell like she was serving a subpoena. "This is your first warning," she declared, while viewing a photo of the crack she'd snapped without my permission, circled in red marker. "Seal and painted to code within 72 hours or it's a DULA 200 daily fine." I raised an eyebrow and asked which bylaw covered a crack that small. Smirking, she shot back, Article 7, Section B, Subsection 12, Maintenance of soil harmony and concrete integrity. I didn't even know concrete integrity was a thing, but with Linda, nonsense was gospel. Within a week, she hit me again, this time for unregistered reflective materials on my mailbox, a safety strip I'd added for visibility. Then came fines for non-compliant flora. My sunflowers were apparently too unruly next to the board-approved roses. The absurdity peaked when she slapped me with a full-page warning about my Halloween inflatables' improper illumination, claiming they cast an unwelcoming energy field. Neighbors started whispering about Linda's bizarre power trips. She banged on Sarah's door at 11 p.m. with a tape measure to check if her holiday lights jetted more than 6 inches past the garage. When Mike put up a rooster-shaped weather vane, Linda climbed his porch to issue a cease and desist for unauthorized vertical art. But what we didn't know then was that Linda had formed a crew she dubbed the HOA Citizen Safety Patrol, a wannabe neighborhood watch made up of 3 retired mall cops, an off-duty barista, and Linda herself. They strutted around in matching reflective vests, armed with clipboards and pepper spray. At first, it was almost comical until they started trespassing, snapping photos through windows to enforce compliance. One neighbor, Emily, caught them flying a drone to inspect her roof and filed an FAA complaint. Linda didn't flinch. She doubled down, requesting HOA funds for body cameras for safety and documentation, which she wore on her 6 a.m. patrols, narrating into her phone like she was hosting a crime podcast. "Suspicious active tie driveway oil stain, marking as level 3 hazard," she declared in a clip that somehow leaked to our group chat. That's when it got personal. One morning I stepped outside to find a sign staked in my lawn. "This property under Pro VY Cyanal Watch. Uncooperative resident." Linda had escalated from petty fines to public shaming. I ripped it out and she reported me for hostile defacement of security property. But the story took a dark turn one Thursday when my neighbor Tim called, rattled. "Dude, Linda's crew was on your back porch. They tried the sliding door." I yelled and they bolted. My Ring footage confirmed it, of her goons creeping around my yard in broad daylight, wearing tactical gloves like they were in a spy flick. I stormed the next HOA meeting, but Linda shut me down, claiming I hadn't filed Form 19B for a comment slot. When I demanded to know why her patrol was breaking onto my property, she icily replied, "We're authorized under the Emergency Oversight Clause." I checked the bylaws, no such clause existed. She'd invented it. This wasn't just petty enemy, it was a power grab masquerading as regulation. Lucky for me, Linda didn't know who she was dealing with. I trained the local SWAT team in advanced breach tactics and threat response. Her clipboard commandos had picked the wrong house. The next time they tripped my cams, they wouldn't get a warning, they'd get a lesson. I was done playing nice. The very next morning, I noticed Linda's squad had leveled up. They sported earpieces and cheap tactical boots, looking like they'd raided a discount costume shop. Someone had clearly binged too much NCIS, because they started running drills up and down our cul-de-sac, using hand signals and ducking behind mailboxes like they were under fire. From my upstairs window, coffee in hand, I watched one of them, Greg, a retired janitor, yell, "Perimeter secure," after circling Mrs. Dawson's garden gnome. That afternoon, Linda dropped a folded notice in my mailbox, sealed with wax. Who even owns a wax seal? It read, "Due to your hostile behavior or undocumented resistance, your property is now a high-risk zone. A routine inspection will occur within 72 hours. I almost laughed. Routine inspection by whom? The HOA Justice League? I called my buddy Jake, a SWAT teammate who co-teaches situational awareness with me. Looks like our neighborhood's little militia wants to breach my perimeter, I said. Wanna have some fun? He was in. We spent the weekend rigging my place like a fortress, layered surveillance, trip sensors, live feeds, and decoy entry points. My house became suburbia's Fort Knox, guarding my right to a reflective mailbox. Monday, 6:07 a.m. it went down. Mid-coffee, my side security light flicked on. Linda's crew 3 this time was at my gate. One snipped the latch with bolt cutters while another whispered into a dollar store walkie-talkie, "Subject may be inside, proceed with caution." I triggered the floodlights and speakers. The yard blazed white as my pre-recorded voice boomed, "Intrusion detected. You are trespassing on private property." They froze. One dropped his clipboard and yelped, "Abort! Abort!" But Linda emerged from behind a bush, clutching a laminated folder, barking, "Proceed with inspection. This is sanctioned under Emergency Clause 14. Another fake rule. Jake and I stepped out in full gear, him in his SWAT jacket, me in my training vest. "You have 10 seconds to leave, or you'll be detained under California Penal Code Section 602, I announced. Linda blinked, caught off guard. "We're authorized," she stammered. Jake held up his phone. "This is live streamed to a law enforcement server. Explain your break-in to a judge." Linda turned crimson. Greg bolted down the driveway like donuts were on the line. She hissed, "You've made a powerful enemy," as she retreated. I shrugged. "You broke into a SWAT trainer's house, Linda. You didn't make an enemy, you made a case file." That afternoon, I sent the footage to the police and filed a restraining order. Linda fought back with HOA newsletters accusing me of running a hostile tactical training zone and claiming my property was under REVYEW4 Paramilitary Active VY tie. She misspelled it, Pyramid Military. The group chat blew up clips of her squad hiding behind a Prius went viral, dubbed the Vinyl Vest Brigade. But behind the laughs, tension brewed. Linda ramped up patrols, demanding access to suspicious sheds, and accusing folks of harboring violations with intent. Sarah called Melinda had tried scaling her fence over unauthorized pool noises. I switched from defense to offense, digging into HOA budgets and requesting financials. That's when I spotted it. Linda had pushed through a home security enhancement grant last quarter, DULA $14,000 of HOA funds funneled into vague line items like equipment upgrades and safety uniforms. No one recalled voting on it. This wasn't just a nosy neighbor, it was a self-funded suburban militia harassing residents with embezzled cash. And I had proof. Linda didn't know I'm also a licensed PI. I printed every shady invoice, filed a complaint with the State Housing Board, and contacted residents she'd find. A widow, Maria, said Linda charged her for excessive windshield resonance. Another caught Linda snooping in her garage over a suspicious propane smell. It wasn't just Melinda had turned the HOA into her personal fiefdom, and no one had fought back. Until now. My next move, call in a city auditor. If Linda thought a SWAT trainer was trouble, wait till she met the woman who audits government contractors for kicks. The clock was ticking. Linda's patrol had kicked in the wrong door, figuratively and literally. By the time the city finished with her, she'd be lucky to keep her mailbox.